Today, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to get to start welding without wasting a bunch of money on stuff you don't need. We're going to go over the welder itself, some safety gear, the gloves, beginner mistakes, and at the end, I'll show you some simple settings to get you started and get you close. You're always going to need to tweak it a little bit. And I'm going to give you a simple practice project to make you start laying down beads today. All this welding stuff I ordered off of Amazon and it showed up the next day. Sometimes modern civilization just works. So let's go take a look. So first, let's talk about this welder. This little welder here, it's by YesWelder. It's the MIG 140 DS Pro. And what it does the flux core, which we're going to be focusing on. It does MIG, stick, and strike arc TIG welding. It can run off of 110 or 220. We're going to run it off of 110 today because this is very basic. This is entry-level stuff. This is to get you started. The first thing you're going to want to do is plug these leads in when you get it. It's as simple as just putting them in here and twisting, and it locks them into place. Yank on them if you want to make sure they're in there. Now that we got our leads plugged in, this here is the adapter for the electrical. We're going to go ahead and pop this on the back of this, like so. That's going to give us the capabilities of using it on a regular old outlet. What we do next is go ahead and put our wire in it. It comes with it, which is pretty nice. You just undo this chingadera there. What I do is I leave this taped because if this wire comes loose, you might as well throw this away because it needs to stay tight on there. So I put that on there, and I'll put this back on. And you want to make sure that you do keep that spring in there. That's what keeps tension on the actual spool itself. And you'll feel, if you tighten that too much, this won't turn. It's got some friction on it. That's what you want. Now flip the wire tensioner down. Flip that up and make sure that the right roller is inside of here. This is an 030 wire, which comes out to a 0.8 millimeters. You make sure it's on there. It comes set up that way with 030, so that should be correct. What you want to do now is keep your finger on this wire that's back here. Pull that out. Pull a little bit out of there with tension. And then I'll talk about these in a minute. But you'll cut a fresh section off and you'll guide it into this little hole. Once it's sticking out of there, it's going to go into this track down there. And then you guide the wire into the other hole, which is the actual sleeve of where your gun is. Once it's in there, then you'll flip this back down, close that up. This is a knob to set the tension on the wire. Make sure that you have a good extension cord, at least a 14 gauge. Back here on the back of the welder, this is your on-off switch. You're just going to power that bad boy up. We got the machine all fired up, as you can hear it. What you're going to want to do is you're going to hold this trigger down and it's going to make this turn. See? And you're going to wait until the wire starts coming out of here, and then you stop. That means the wire is all the way through the gun and you can start welding. You still need another couple things. See? The wire's sticking out. So if you accidentally keep letting it out, that's where these come in handy. Right here. You just snip it. You're going to use these. These are going to be your friend. Before you just start welding, you're going to need to do some adjustments on the settings over here, but I'll show you that in a little bit. So let's move to the safety equipment, the must-haves. You're going to need a decent hood. Don't buy the cheapest hood. These are your eyeballs that we're talking about. I like the auto darkening. I've used them for years and they work great. I picked up this Arc Captain from Amazon and I've heard really good things about them. So I bought one for myself. I use a really high dollar one. This was inexpensive. It's auto darkening. You can grind with it, you can cut with it, and weld with it. See this big window right here? That's the window that you look out of. Make sure you get the one with the big window in it, because the one that is a little window, no bueno. It makes it really hard to see, especially getting started. You want to be able to see whatever. Now let's talk about gloves. Make sure you get yourself a good set of welding gloves. Leather, comfortable. I particularly like these Black Stallion ones. I have multiple sets of them. You can see they're good quality. They're thick. They keep your hands from getting burnt. Make sure they're comfortable so that you're not all cramped up. You need to be able to move. You need to be able to feel things, like your lady friend. Next, we're going to go over metal prep. One of the biggest things is if your metal's not clean, you're going to get caca welds. You ever heard of the slogan Seagull shit? That's what you'll produce if your metal's not clean. What I suggest, and even I still do it, I buy these coupons or welding practice kits from Amazon. What they are is they have a whole bunch of little metal pieces. You just start gluing them together with the welder. Let's go ahead and start cleaning some of these, and I'll show you how to do that. Another piece of safety equipment to protect your eyes. Some sort of safety glasses or a shield like this. Before you start grinding, you don't want that grinding stuff in your eyes. Speaking from experience, it hurts. So you're going to either take your wire brush like this, or use a grinder. Just make sure you have good, clean metal. And then we'll wipe it down with acetone. That's what I use. After you got these clean, you can see they're clean. That's the side before, that's after. You want them clean. Now you'll take your, I use acetone like I said. I use a lot of it because I weld a lot. You clean it. The cleaner, the better. It may look clean, but look. All this is clean now. We're going to just practice running some beads down the center of this. Just practice. We're going to need to get our settings correct on there. And for that, we go to this little cheat sheet. So the first thing is we're going to choose Flux core. And this metal here is 11 gauge, which is really close to 1/8 inch. We're going to go here to the 1/8 inch aisle. We're going to pick our voltage, which is 17.8. So we're going to go over here. 17.8. Then we're going to go to our wire speed. Our wire speed is the WFS. Our wire speed is going to be 360 with 030 wire. Just turn this down. Now we're ready to weld. When you do start welding, you will notice that you'll get spatter. This is what Seagull shit looks like. That stuff. To prevent that, it's easy. You just use this stuff. It's called anti-spatter spray. This is probably one of the best ones I've ever used. The Walters. All you do is take your metal and you just spray it on it. That's it. That prevents that from the spatter from just building up on your projects. And it looks like caca. All right, this is just a little technique. So what you're gonna wanna do is, if you're gonna weld along this line, you're gonna wanna hold the torch straight up and down, but back just a little bit. And you can practice this. Now that we got all our pre-checks done, settings set, metal clean, let's go ahead and start melting some metal. Oh no. You're gonna do this, and I'm gonna show you why. See this here? You have to have the welder grounded. It completes the circuit that makes the arc. So hook this to the table or your project, whatever you're welding. Make sure it's got good connection. conductivity, kind of like when you want to get up on your lady friend. So when that happens, you take your friend right here and use it right here, and you put that all the way up against that, boom, perfect 1/4 inch wire stick out. You got to make sure that it's about 1/4 inch stick out. And when you're going to weld, you're going to want to keep this wire about 1/4 inch away from your metal, not too far away and not too close. You'll end up sticking this back up in there. No good. I'll show you more of what these pliers can do. So let's see if we can melt some metal. That weld's pretty nice. That's the recommended settings. It looks pretty good. Now I'm going to show you, if you have your settings on the voltage too low, what it's going to look like. So I'm going to simulate this. Kind of looks like a hunchback. You'll see that the weld is quite a bit higher over here. How there's like a hump on it. That means it's too cold. You're going to turn your voltage up. Now I'm going to simulate if your voltage is too high and it's burning too hot. Another thing about these pliers, you can use them to grab really hot stuff. You'll notice the weld is a lot flatter, and it actually burned a hole, a divot right in there. Too hot, so turn the voltage down. Now I'm going to simulate if the wire speed's too fast. Pay attention to the way it sounds. Did you guys notice the sound? It wasn't normal. Pay attention because the sound is telling you something. Now I'm going to simulate if the wire is going out too slow with the correct voltage. I did this one for last because it might get stuck in the end here on the little electrode in there. That's what it does. It came loose, but it don't weld for caca. See that one there? That was your last one with too slow of wire. It can't feed it fast enough to keep that arc going. The reason I'm showing you guys on 11 gauge is because 11 gauge is very forgiving with this welder. Now, with smaller, thinner metal, it's a little more difficult. You're gonna have to get these settings pretty dialed in, so practice, practice, practice. Go off your chart. All right, I told you guys about a little fun project at the very end. So these little squares, these little coupons, these particular ones, that center part will pop out. So let's build a square. Build a little square out of these things. And then you have this piece to practice on. You can use this cool little magnet that comes with this kit to hold your pieces up. As you weld, your nozzle is going to look like this. That's where you use your friend. You can do this because that thing's hot and it unscrews it. One more thing, it's not done yet. So your nozzle looks like that. Take these and stick them in, get that off there. Then you just do this with them. Look, good as new. And you will end up burning up the end of here. And that's what this last one's for. You can grab that in there just like that to loosen it. Multi-purpose, and I use this part for a hammer sometimes too. Pow, pow, pow. Well, anything that's metal I use as a hammer. Take a look at this. So if you're ready to get started, everything I talked about today will be linked in the description so you don't have to hunt around for it. And let me know down in the comments what welder you're using or what project you're planning to build first. I hope this video helped make getting started welding a little less intimidating and give you a better idea of what you actually need. And if you want to see some of my fabrication and welding projects, click one of these videos right here. Now go out there and go glue some metal together.